Yo, how we doing? It almost seems like these days there's a solution to everything, right? Um, if you want to understand what somebody says, you ask what they meant. If you need something to eat, you make some food. I'm going to make sure you guys understand this part. So when it comes to, solving problems and getting things done, you need to know certain fundamental ideas and be able to hold them to be true using just logical explanation. You can't just go off of what somebody said and just believe it's true. You actually have to have the logical explanation behind it to hold that idea up. Like it's a table, right? And if it doesn't have legs to hold it, it's not a table anymore. It's just a floor to be walked on. The same thing is when you spew your ideas but you have no evidence to back it up. What we know is that it's false, right? I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that's false. If you say something and you have no evidence to back it up. Well, I mean, that's just like the stuff I see on threads when I see, and I'll call the guy out. His name's Taylor. He's an artist on threads. He's got a little check mark. He's saying they don't support you until you're famous. And I'm just thinking logically here. You're like, yeah, maybe in the age of the industry plant, maybe that's true. But the industry plant is gone tomorrow, dude. The industry, I mean, actually, it was gone 3 days ago. You just didn't know it yet. You just didn't realize it yet. We've all decided. Remember the people? We've all decided that the industry plant isn't a thing anymore. We decided, that's not really in the best interest of music or anything like that. So what the industry plant will tell you, people don't support you until you're famous. It's another way of saying, look, there's no way to get famous because people don't support you until you're famous. So, even though to get famous, you'd have to have people supporting you. Like, you got to think logically here. To get famous, you got to have people supporting you. They're like, no. For people to support you, you have to get famous. And that's not the order it goes in. I mean, anyone with critical thinking skills stops and says, hold on, should I like this guy's content? Should I repost? Should I give this guy his attention? Of course not. The answer is of course not. You should find someone with critical thinking skills that understands that people need to support before the fame comes, for that fame to actually come. So, how are people, still having the crown without the wisdom to keep it on their head? You can't hold the crown without the head. It'll just sit on your shoulders all day. And you know what happens to people who have enough weight on their shoulders who then go ahead and throw the crown on it. We all know what happens to those. We've seen that many times. But we'll sit back and act like we don't know. We'll all sit back and watch it happen. But yeah, there's a solution to everything. Even the problem that I discuss here, which would be give the proper people credit. If you have somebody who inspires you, the best thing to do is to let them know, hey, dude, you inspired me a lot. Back when I was trying to get features from names, the old Cayman Klein, I've even said on a song that I love Kid Cudi. There's nothing to hide there, I love his music. I love, the content he puts out. It's good. So I gave him his flowers because, some would say that my sound is comparable to his on different aspects from different perspectives. So it's a battle that you fight every day, is paying the homage. You can't give that battle up. You can't be like, all right, I gave him attention this day. It's done now. Like, those Kid Cudi songs will be on my iPhone till the day I die. I'm not going to stop listening to some of those songs. Not just because of the homage I pay, but because I'm actually serious and I don't just manipulate about loving the music. It's actually music I resonate with. And it's the same thing as people are feeling with my music, but have been held back on completely admitting it because social media has completely brainwashed them from doing so. So instead of just giving me my credit, this is the greatest cover-up. I'll admit, it's a good cover-up. You guys did a good job. I'll give credit where credit's due. But you're not putting that good work into something actually useful. It's been a firewall for me. Firewall him out of the picture. I never wanted in the picture. I just was speaking up for myself. I never wanted in. But now that, I'm just speaking up, looking for the justice, and you guys are really shoving the justice down. You're like, we don't want justice here. It shows me just how much more it's needed. It doesn't, that's the thing, it doesn't, oddly enough, it doesn't, convince me, man, I really messed up here. I've made a few mistakes, don't get me wrong. I've let's say I read something and I read it wrong, and I went and told someone something else, like, oh, the weather's going to be 34 today, and actually it said 36. I misread it by a few numbers or whatever. Yeah, that's happened before. But nothing where it's like, okay, this is getting in the way of what I'm doing now. Until it seems like, until I get blamed for things that I don't even do. When I get blamed for things I don't do, but I don't even get the credit for the things I do, it leaves me confused, because it's like, what am I to learn from here? I want to learn. At the end of the day, my goal is to learn before I teach, right? Because you can't teach if you don't know. While 99% of the people will pretend they know, what sets the 1% apart is they admit, hey, I have no clue what the fuck's going on. I got the balls to admit I don't know what's going on here. And I'd like an explanation. But if you never ask for that explanation, you're just with the other 99% still. You're still with the other 99%. You're not no 1%er. By any measures whatsoever, that is. Because I wish I could sit here and say that you were. The biggest threat that we have these days is fake smart. People who have all the resources and stuff, but they don't have the smarts to keep it. So you get let's say this camera here. We take this camera, and I'm just treating it like a toy, tossing it around, throwing a party with it, playing hot potato. don't be surprised when the camera breaks in 3 weeks. Like, I won't be surprised whatsoever. So I treat it like a tool or like an asset, because that's what it is. It's my asset. It's my tool to get my message out there, to build my empire. Remember, we're still building the empire. You got to have a attention span to keep up with this. You can't skip a step. We're building solid foundations here. I'm building up people who can stand up on the facts, on their own facts, to defend their own life. So yeah, I mean, the people who don't know what's going on, they don't ask. Surely those aren't the people who are, controlling the narrative. Surely those aren't the people who people are taking after, who people are looking at for leadership, for answers. Because that's just like common sense. Why would you ask somebody who knows nothing about the subject? Like, you're not going to ask an English teacher how to do math. And it's the same thing. So someone who knows nothing about the subject, they surely aren't the ones writing about it, telling you how to do it. Surely aren't the people who people are going to for answers. Like I said, I'll admit you guys did a great job here. The cover up, it was fun. It was cool. It was I guess it made good content. You know what I mean? I can look at the bright side here at the end of the day. It made some really good content. And it's a really good look for me. So I appreciate it. I'll be the bigger guy here. I'll stand up and say, hey, thanks for making it easy for me. Thanks for giving me an easy thing to go ahead and protest my life with. Thanks for giving me an easy scenario to go ahead and just get myself out there. Because nobody's dumb anymore. Everybody knows to follow the silenced. And everybody can see how many views I get. Nobody's dumb anymore. With that, I conclude my message today. Thank you for the quarter in my pocket while I was going to clean up some trash. Fuck you to the dude who's putting trash out here in the alley. You know my hometown. Well, if you live here, you know who you are. Fuck that. I'm done picking up your Mountain Dew bottles. Yeah, thank you for the quarter. Thanks for the streams on Vanilla Milkshake. You know, it's something. We're getting somewhere. So it's a nice start that I want to thank everybody for. I mean, not a nice start. I mean, I started years ago, but I guess, restart since the algorithm started really, and AI started really messing everything up and set us back a little bit. But because I don't want to blame people anymore. Something's telling me that everything's just getting completely screwed. People's heads are being messed with. We're being split apart. We're being divided. People are literally being brainwashed into hating me and thinking I'm a bad guy. When in all honesty, I have really good experience and wise ideas to tell. That if you know how to properly give me credit for, we can all do really well. But if you just take it and use it to compete with me, everything's just gonna get worse. you're dragging everybody down with that ideology. So, yeah, sum everything up. Give your flowers. Let people know that you appreciate them. I like Kanye West, E-Double. Some good music. Nothing to hide here.